Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to the science class, biology class. So last class we discussed about the microorganisms topic, how microorganisms are useful, what are the medicinal uses and what are the commercial uses. We learn about the action of the antibiotics, and we also learn about how vaccine is discovered, who discovered, and all these topics we learned. In useful microorganisms itself, two more points are there. Let me explain that. In today's class, we'll discuss about how microorganisms are helpful to increase the soil fertility. Okay, this is the third point. It will be the soil fertility. Yeah, in previous class we learned in class 7th, the fertility of the soil depends upon increasing of the chemicals like as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Okay, to increase the nitrogen levels, there is a need for the bacteria in the soil. And the soil has a bacteria called as Azotobacter, and you also studied in class 7th about the Rhizobium bacteria. What this soil bacteria, the Rhizobium bacteria, is doing, how it is helping for the fertility of the soil, and why the fertility of the soil is necessary. Fertility of the soil is necessary especially in the time of agriculture. Okay, the fertile soil only we can get the more crop and the cultivation. So that is the reason the fertility of the soil plays a great role for the farmer, and he used to see the content of the nitrogen. It will be enriching of the soil, we can say that. Enrichment of the soil is necessary. How this enrichment of the soil it will be necessary? And in the soil there are nitrogen fixers. That's what given in your textbook they are also called as microbes. Okay, nitrogen fixing microbes. Otherwise, they use the title biological nitrogen fixers. Okay, what comes under the biological nitrogen fixers means the blue. Maybe if you have the textbook, just you have a look. And blue-green algae. It's nothing but we'll call it as a cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is increases the soil enrichment by adding the nitrogen. So that is the reason we can say that the soil fertility depends upon biological nitrogen fixers. Okay, biological nitrogen fixers. Okay, who are these biological nitrogen fixers in the soil means, then we'll call them as an microbes, and especially named bacteria. Okay, yes, children, just note down the additional point here. Soil has the soil bacteria that is called as an Azotobacter. Okay, Azotobacter or Azotobacteria. And bean family plants. Bean family plants are the legumes. We are going to study very detailed in coming topic. Bean family plants, they have the bacteria named as Rhizobium. Okay, so what this bacteria will do means they convert nitrogen into the soluble components. Why it is necessary? The plant needs the nitrogen for growth, but unfortunately plant cannot use the nitrogen directly when it is in the complex state. So that is the reason plants are depending on this the bacteria for the easy conversion of the nitrogen into soluble products like soluble components like nitrates and the nitrites. Okay, so this conversion is taking, it will occur only with the help of microbes or the bacteria, and the name of bacteria is Azoto and the Rhizobium, and these bacteria will call it as in biological nitrogen fixers. Okay, yes, in your textbook they given cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, this is also called as blue-green algae. Okay, yes. So the fertility of the soil is also depends upon the microorganisms. Okay, next, the fourth one is microorganisms are also helpful to clean the surface area. Okay, to clean the surface area means we can say that the cleaning in environment. just how they used to clean the environment. Side heading, just you see that cleaning. Okay, yes, it's the goal. Just cleaning in environment. They play a role in cleaning in environment. Okay, yes. How they play cleaning in the environment? Which one will play a cleaning role in the environment? And under the different microbes, the important microbe here is fungi. Okay, fungi play a great role in cleaning of the surface area. So that is the reason fungi is called as scavengers of the earth. Okay, they are also called as a saprophytes. Why they called as the scavengers of the earth and the saprophyte means, whenever there, sometimes you will observe while you are walking on the road, while we are walking on the road, we can see that these dead organisms will observe. When the municipality people, if the municipality people are not taking care about this, and who will take care of these microorganisms? See this. These are the cyanobacteria converters. Okay. Just you see the picture in the textbook. It is given. Please follow that. So then, what this fungi will do? How it will be shown in actions means. In case of the dead organism, if they are noticed and fungi, it reaches to there and it releases certain digestive enzymes towards to this dead organism. So automatically what will happen with the action of these enzymes, the dead organisms, it start decaying. Okay, the complex one, it will be loosened and simple, and it will be converted in the form of the juicy, and then that juicy content it will be taken by the fungi. Or the fungi, we can say. That is the reason fungi is acting like as here scavengers. That's why the fungi are called as, okay, scavengers of earth. They are known as scavengers of earth. Just like that in our body. Who is the scavengers of our body? Yes, WBC. How the WBC helps and clean, not allowing the foreign organisms into our body. In the same way, these microbes, fungi especially, take care about the cleaning of the environment. Okay, yes. How the fungi will be shown an action? How it shows an action means, just let me explain as the small activities given in your textbook. The activity explains like this. Take it 2 pots. Pot A and the pot B. Okay. How the microorganisms helpful to convert the surfaces to be clean. Okay. In pot A, this is the pot A, and take an pot B. Okay. 2 pots just you take. In 1 pot, maybe you remember the words degradable substances, biodegradable substances, non-biodegradable substances. What comes under the biodegradable substances means the substances which will become smaller or the simple by the action of microorganism, will call it as a biodegradable substances. Non-biodegradable substances means they will not change. They cannot change by the action of an what is that called, microorganisms. Okay, yes. In pot A, just you collect the twigs of the plants, leaves, okay, twigs, small branches, leaves, onion peel, vegetable peels, leftover food, okay, all this softened things, used things we kept here, all the waste of this food products, leftover waste of the food products we kept in the A. Okay, in pot B, collect all the plastics. Just take the plastic varieties, the clips, the pens, okay, yes, the plastic ones, polythene covers, and all these things, just you collect it and keep it in the pot B. Okay, all the plastic varieties, plastics, pens, polythene, okay, keep like this. Okay, so we filled the 2 pots with the different varieties. In one pot we kept all the biodegradable substances, and in one pot we arranged all the non-biodegradable substances. Just sprinkle, take a soil and just sprinkle over it, cover it, fill both the pots, cover it with the soil, and just sprinkle a little amount of the water. Leave it like that. After few days, if you open these pots, and what we will observe means, in this particular pot, the entire waste, it will become as the soft matter, and that soft matter only we'll call it as manure. Okay, that soft matter once again we'll use for the plants for their growth. Got it? Okay, whereas coming here, what you are observing here means, they stay back, they remain like this. The plastics will not convert into the simple. The reason is here, one application question you can learn now itself, here itself. Why the plastics are not converting into the simple? Why you named it as? There is during essay writing competitions, they used to ask, is the plastics are boon to the soil or bane to the soil? That means as they're useful to the soil or harmful to the soil. Okay, plastics obviously they are harmful to the soil. Why they are harmful to the soil means they will not degrade. They will not degrade, and obviously the fertility of the soil, it will reduce. Why they will not degrade here? Why they are not degrade means, here also we kept the soil, and even the soil contains the microbes, and here also we kept the soil contains the microbes. The microbe shows an action on this and made it as a softer one. And here, then what you have to learn here means, microbes will not show any action, or the enzymes which is released by the microorganisms will not show the action on the plastics. That is the reason they stay back like that, or they stay same as it is. Okay, in this activity it is clear for you. The microorganisms are releasing certain enzymes. By the action of that enzymes, and they are helping to clean the soil. Okay, children? Yes, that's all. These are all comes under the useful microorganisms. Under useful microorganisms, we discussed about in what way commercially how we are getting benefit by the alcoholic beverages, and medicinally how we are getting benefit by producing the antibiotics and by producing the vaccine. Okay, and food products, it is helping in the baking industries by the process of the fermentation. So like this, all the soil fertility, and today the last topic I explained, they are also helping in cleaning in the environment. Okay, children, that's all for the useful microorganisms. Okay, so let me explain about harmful microorganisms. In what way microorganisms will cause harm to plants, animals, even including human beings. Okay, the next topic is harmful microorganisms. Okay, yes. Harmful microorganisms, they'll cause harm to plants, okay, animals, and even human beings. Okay, how they'll be cause harm to the all this that we are going to study. Okay, before going deep into that, actually what is called as a disease. We are saying that harmful microorganisms, because of these harmful microorganisms, we may fall in sick. That is nothing but disease, we can say that. How the diseases will be expressed out? By exhibiting certain symptoms. Who is responsible for exhibiting these symptoms and to make the person to be fallen sick means, there's no doubt their microorganisms are only the responsibility. These are the causative organisms, we can say that. How the microorganisms enter into our body? How they will enter? How they will enter means, they'll enter into our body through the food what we are taking, and water and air. Okay, and these are the main ways where the microorganisms easily enter into our body. Okay, yes, not only that, and through infected persons, infected person. That is nothing but we'll call it as a physical contact, direct contact. When you touch the infected person, obviously the disease causing organism, it will be enter into our body. Okay, yes, through insects microorganisms will enter, through worms they will be enter, and through animals also microorganisms will be enter into our body. Okay, yes. So whenever these microorganisms are enter into our body, and they make the person to be fallen sick. Okay, yes. And the next one, you have to discuss here about a short note, what is called as an communicable diseases. Communicable diseases. When you're discussing about this communicable diseases, these are diseases are two types. One is the communicable diseases, and second type of called as a non-communicable diseases. When we'll say it is a communicable disease, means when the disease is spreading from A to B, person to person, such a diseases will call it as a communicable. When the diseases are not spread from an A to B or person to person, such a diseases will call it as a non-communicable diseases. I hope you know that. What are they? So for example, A is suffering with the cold or the cold, cough, fever. So these are all the viral diseases, influenza. Okay, so with that what will happen? The disease easily spread from person to person. Sometimes we think that what is there, it's a very minute problem, no, like that we'll feel. But when you're suffering with the cold and cough, when the fine droplet, if it comes out, that fine droplet has thousands of viruses. Thousands of the viruses, and these viruses, it will be when the healthy person is inhale, when the healthy person breathe in, obviously what will happen, that disease causing microorganism enter into our body. And that is the reason nowadays we all are experienced with many awareness programs are going on in and around today these days regarding the coronavirus. How you can solve this particular problem? How you can solve this particular problem means the only thing is an isolation. The only thing, in textbook what they use in textbook is isolation. Isolation means separation, that's it. Separation. As it's a communicable disease, as the corona is a communicable disease. So what the people are doing now, the doctors are advising, they're using some words, quarantine. Okay, house quarantine. That's like in hospitals they are keeping separate, isolating. When they notice that the infected person, and so we have to separate them. It is nothing harm. We are hesitating these days that people are afraid to exhibit themselves as even though they have the positive virus. Okay, yes. During the separation, what will happen means only the individual will stay there, and the doctors will give the proper treatment, and he will gain an immunity power and fight against with that particular virus within a certain period, incubation period. Within that particular, when once that period is crossed out, and they will be free from the disease. Children, you have to keep in your mind all the time. There are diseases also two way we'll get a recovery. The recovery is two ways. One is a positive recovery and the second one is a negative recovery. After that certain isolation time over, the recovery maybe turns to be positive and they'll come out, and the recovery it may turns to be the negative. There is nothing we can't help it. Okay, yes. So isolation is only the best method. The best method for the reducing this the communicable diseases. The best example, everybody we have an experience in the schools. Sometimes we used to, due to the viral problem, we used to get some eye infections, conjunctivitis they'll say, eye infection they'll say. So when you are identified that we have that particular problem, itching, redness, watering, these are all the symptoms for an eye infection. When you are having that problem, better you have to be separate. We should not come to school. You stay back at home at least 2 days. That's enough. So when you stay back like that, when you are isolated in such a way, what will happen? The disease will not spread from one person within other person. Okay, we have to follow that. In some of the good hostels, in our the school also, we have the infirmary and they have the hostler children. They have the isolated rooms, sick rooms. whenever they identified that they are having this particular communicable problem, if they kept separate, automatically what will happen? The body will get a rest and they will get rid of from that particular problem also. Okay, so that is about the communicable diseases. Isolation, that is nothing but we'll call it as a separation. Okay, so how these diseases are spreading? The diseases are spreading through food, water and an air and insects and animals. So the one of the two diseases we are going to learn here. First one is about the female Anopheles mosquito. When you heard about this female Anopheles mosquito is causative organism for malaria. It's a causative organism for malaria. Okay, yes. How this malaria causing organism will be enter into our body means the larval form is named as Plasmodium. Okay, Plasmodium falciparum. So whenever the mosquito is infected with the Plasmodium falciparum, so this when the mosquito bites a healthy person, so it releases this larval form into our body and it reaches to the red blood corpuscles of our body. There it stay back. Immediately we don't get a malaria disease after completion of the incubation period. What is called as an incubation period here means the time taken by this larval form to be developed and produce more fellow beings. Okay, then the person it will be falling sick. Maybe it is the 14th day or 13th days or the 1 week after 7 days, and the person will suffer with the chill fever, body pains, headache, and all these are responsible the person to be suffer with the disease called as a malaria. Okay, yes. So one more disease is there. The disease, insect disease, mosquitoes. Aedes mosquito, female Aedes fly or Aedes mosquito. This is responsible for causing the disease dengue fever. Okay, yes. So all these cases, what is how you can eradicate them, how you can eradicate, what is the proper care we have to take here means, you know that mosquitoes they grow more where the areas are moist, dampy in nature, and stagnant areas where the dust is accumulated, garbage, where the garbage is accumulated. In those areas the mosquitoes will grow more. That is the reason the municipality people, they all the time they'll come and they'll spray some liquid over this stagnant water to kill the larval forms. It is very easy for us to kill the larval forms rather than to kill the adult mosquitoes. We can't catch them. Okay, whenever they are in the larval stage, if you kill them, if you eradicate them by using certain again this is another topic, by using biological chemical methods, by spraying certain chemicals, we can control the mosquito or the growth. Okay, children? Yes. So the first one is communicable disease. Is it the malaria is communicable? Yes, it's a communicable. And when one person is infected with the malaria, the same mosquito, it bites the other person, then what will happen? That malarial Plasmodium larvae will enter into others and they will also suffer with this. Okay, yes. The best methods for controlling this the mosquito malarial disease. How you can control this this particular diseases? All the time the insect used to settle over the food, uncovered food. That means you have to cover the food properly. If you don't cover the food properly, what will happen? This the insects, wherever they'll visit, the garbage they will visit, the dirty places they'll visit, and they'll come and they'll settle over the food products. Then through the legs and these larval forms and the legs, it will be reaches into our the food products and it will be cause harm to the human body. So that is the reason, children, take care about this stagnant water, and we have to consume only the covered food, and we should not we should keep our things neat and proper, and environmental cleanliness is important to control all this. Okay, that's all for today. In the next class, we'll discuss some more points. Thank you.